It all began on the very first week of school, the week everyone noticed the new girl. She was quiet, graceful, and always kept to herself. No makeup, no fancy clothes, no loud attitude. Just a calm presence that somehow made the bullies curious. Her name was Hannah Kim, a transfer student from another city. She walked through the crowded hallway with her bag slung low, eyes on the floor, avoiding attention. But in a school where gossip spread faster than wildfire, being new automatically made her a target. That day during lunch, the self-proclaimed king of the cafeteria, Derek, decided to make her his next victim. He was the kind of guy who laughed too loud, thought too highly of himself, and never missed a chance to humiliate someone for sport. His friends followed him everywhere, his pack, as he liked to call them. They saw Hannah sitting alone under the shade outside, quietly eating her lunch. No one sat with her. Derek smirked and whispered something to his crew. Moments later, one of them brought out a water hose from the maintenance shed meant for watering plants. Derek's grin widened. "Watch this," he said, turning the nozzle toward Hannah. The cold jet of water hit her tray, splashing all over her uniform and soaking her hair. The courtyard erupted with laughter. Hannah froze, clutching her lunchbox as the water poured over her face. Her food spilled to the ground, and for a long second, she just stood there dripping wet, eyes blank. Everyone expected her to cry. That's what victims did. They either ran or broke down. But Hannah did neither. She slowly turned her head toward Derek. Her eyes, sharp, steady, and calm, locked on him. The laughter began to fade. "Oops, sorry," Derek said mockingly. "Didn't see you there, new girl." Hannah didn't answer. She simply bent down, picked up her soaked bag, and walked past him without saying a word. Derek chuckled, but inside, he felt something strange, a flicker of unease. The next day, the tension was in the air. Whispers floated through the hallways. Someone had seen Hannah early that morning practicing strange movements behind the gym. Kicks, spins, punches, all controlled and precise. Derek brushed it off. "Probably some yoga crap," he said. But deep down, the image unsettled him. At lunch, he decided to push again. "Round 2, he joked to his buddies. This time, he caught her walking toward the lockers after class. She was alone again. He snuck behind her and snapped his fingers in the air. "Hey, ninja girl, forgot your umbrella?" His friends cackled. Hannah turned, her face unreadable. "Why don't you just leave me alone?" she said quietly. "Or what?" Derek stepped closer, towering over her. "You gonna kick me or something?" Something in the way she looked at him, calm, measured, and absolutely fearless, made him hesitate. But he couldn't back down now, not in front of his crew. He reached out and shoved her shoulder. That's when it happened. In less than a heartbeat, Hannah pivoted, a clean, lightning-fast motion. Her foot swept Derek's leg, and before anyone could blink, he was on the ground, gasping for air. His friends froze. Hannah didn't even look angry, she looked disappointed. "You shouldn't touch people like that," she said softly. "You never know who they really are." Then she walked away. The hallway fell silent except for the echo of her steps. By the end of the day, everyone knew. The quiet new girl wasn't just anyone, she was a Black Belt Taekwondo champion, trained since childhood. Videos surfaced of her winning tournaments, breaking boards with ease, bowing with discipline and humility. The same students who laughed at her yesterday now stared in awe when she passed by. As for Derek, the king of the cafeteria, he avoided her for weeks. His bruised ego hurt more than his body. But something inside him changed. One day, after school, he found Hannah near the gym again, practicing alone. He walked up quietly and said, "Hey. I deserve that." Hannah looked up, surprised but not unkind. "Maybe," she said, "but you don't have to stay that way." They talked awkwardly at first, then honestly. Derek confessed he'd been bullied himself years ago, and somewhere along the way, he became the very thing he hated. Hannah didn't scold him. She just listened. And that simple act, being seen, not judged, did more for Derek than any punishment ever could. Weeks later, Derek was the one breaking up fights instead of starting them. He apologized publicly to Hannah in the cafeteria, right where it all began. The moment was quiet, but powerful. No laughter this time, no humiliation, just respect. Hannah smiled. Everyone deserves a second chance, she said. By the end of the semester, she wasn't the new girl anymore. She had friends, respect, and something even stronger, a reputation not for fear, but for strength with grace. And Derek? He started learning Taekwondo himself, not to fight, but to understand. Sometimes, people aren't evil, they're just lost until someone shows them the way back. So if you've ever been bullied, or maybe been the bully, remember this: strength isn't about hurting others, it's about controlling yourself, standing tall, and treating people with respect, even when they don't deserve it, because someday, you might meet someone like Hannah, and they'll remind you that kindness and courage always win in the end. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the world needs more people like Hannah, and fewer like Derek before he learned better.